Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm ready to win. Yeah, refuse. Mine can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me keep on running toes. They gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl. That did not go off like it was supposed to. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here to give you a recap. I'm just here to fly by some recaps, but I'm really here to give you previews for tomorrow games. I'm gonna fly by this real quick how late it is. I had to watch my Ravens beat the 49ers. Shout out to the Ravens for getting a huge dub. So like I said, I'm gonna give y'all recaps. I'm gonna give y'all previews for tomorrow. Then Wednesday, I'll be back to give y'all previews for Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'll have a Friday show for Fridays and Saturday. And yeah, we're almost here. We're almost here to playoffs. Playoffs are now, today is Tuesday. So we are 6 days away from the college football playoffs. Can't wait. So excited. So I'm going to have to ask y'all to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share to help the network. But let's get right on to it. We got the 76 Birmingham Bowl between Duke and Troy, where Duke wins 17-10. I picked Troy to win this game. I didn't have faith in Duke's offense. I thought Troy wouldn't be able to move the ball. I figured it'd be a defensive game. Just thought Troy would be able to make a little bit more plays, and I was wrong. Duke was able to make the plays that I thought Troy would be able to make. I do know that Troy had a chance to tie it late in the game, and Gunnar Watson, he threw an interception. Now, I didn't know he was battling through a bug, but shout out to him. He played. He just took the L. So Troy starts with the punt, while Duke starts with a Grayson Loftus sack fumble, which leads to a 47-yard field goal miss, which leads to a 3-and-out punt. Duke would then score a 1-yard Jalen Coleman touchdown run. The 2-point conversion would be good. That was set up by Jalen Calhoun, 26-yard catch. Duke will have a turnover on downs, 4th and 1. Jalen Coleman runs stuck, leads to a turnover on downs, 4th and 3. Jabri Barber, 2-yard catch. So he got a 2-yard catch on a 4th and 3, turnover on downs, which will lead to a 34-yard field goal for Duke. Then Duke would then score a 37-yard field goal right before the half to go 14-0. Duke would start the second half with a punt, while Troy would start with the turnover on downs, 4th and 10 passes incomplete, leads to a 3-and-out punt. Troy would score a 44-yard field goal. Duke will answer with a 45-yard field goal. Then Troy will have a turnover on downs, 4th and 2. Gunnar Watson, a 0-yard run, which will lead to a Grayson Loftus interception, which will lead to a Derek Graham 2-yard touchdown run. And then Troy will get the ball back, and that's when I said Gunnar Watson will throw the interception, which will lead to the end of the game. Like I said, very defensive battle. Troy offense, who was real stagnant throughout the whole entire game. Duke was able to hold his own. Duke was able actually to move the ball way better than I thought they would be able to move the ball. So yeah, shout out to Duke. They got a nice little bowl win. The Manny Diaz era now starts for Duke. So shout out to them. We move on to the Camilla Bowl, where Arkansas State loses to Northern Iowa 19-21. I did pick Northern Iowa to win this game. They were 2.5-point dogs in this matchup, and they won outright. Let's get into it. So NIU starts with an 18-yard Grayson Barnes touchdown catch. I believe that was one in the back of the end zone, set up by 2 catches for 47 yards by Grayson Barnes. The Arkansas State will start with a Jalen Rayner interception, which will lead to a Rocky Lombardi interception, which will lead to a Corey Rucker's 42-yard touchdown catch. 42-yard touchdown catch. Then NIU would answer with a 6-yard Rocky Lombardi touchdown run, set up by Tristan Hughes, 18-yard reception. I said that like that on purpose. Arkansas State turnover on downs, 4th and 1. Jalen Rayner run for no gain. Leads to a 4th and 4 fake field goal. Tom Foley, 32-yard touchdown pass to Kanan Whittle, and the 2-point would be good to go 21-7. I believe 21-7. Then Arkansas State would answer with a 28-yard field goal. NIU would then have a 36-yard field goal miss, leads to a punt. NIU, Rocky Lombardi would throw a pick, leads to a 45-yard field goal. Arkansas State second half will start with a 3-and-out punt, while NIU will start with a punt. And then with 55 seconds left in the third quarter, NIU 23-yard field goal is missed, leads to a punt. And then Arkansas State will score a 13-yard Corey Rucker touchdown catch. The 2-point would be no good. Corey Rucker will have a 32-yard catch on the drive to set that up. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing the rest of this game, but I could have swore I wrote everything out. Give me 1 second. Could have swore I wrote all of that out, but apparently I didn't. No, yeah, that's how the game ended. The game ended on a Corey Rucker 13-yard catch. So what? I don't know. I was late. I might have missed something. But yeah, that's how the game ended. The 2-point would be no good. NIU will recover they would kick it deep, I believe. And then no. They would whatever. NIU recovers, they win the game. Like I said, it's late. NIU wins. Rocky Lombardi gets another bowl game. I basically picked NIU because of the experience that Rocky Lombardi had in this situation. NIU gets the W. So we move on to the Armed Forces Bowl, where I did pick JMU to win this game, and unfortunately, they did not. Air Force dominated this game. Air Force wins 31-21. JMU will start with a punt, while Air Force starts with a 1-yard Emmanuel Michelle touchdown run set up by Emmanuel Michelle, 4 carries for 65 yards. JMU will answer with Phoenix Pro's 18-yard touchdown catch set up by Nalaja Surratt, 27-yard catch. So Jordan McLeod and those guys did play that day, Saturday. JMU's Jordan McLeod will throw a pick, which will lead to a 1-yard Emmanuel Michelle touchdown run. And with 27 seconds left in the second quarter, Air Force scores a Jared Rosnos 42-yard touchdown catch. Air Force starts the second half with a turnover on downs, 4th and 1, Emmanuel Michelle, no gain, which will lead to a Kalen Black 5-yard touchdown catch. Air Force will score a 1-yard Zach Laurier touchdown run, so Zach Laurier did play. Set up by Emmanuel Michelle, 31-yard run. Air Force would then score a 26-yard field goal. JMU will answer with a 7-yard Phoenix Pro's touchdown catch set up by Kalen Black, 24-yard catch. Then Air Force will recover the onside kick and run out the game. Every time I look at the game, Air Force was just moving the ball. Air Force was scoring. JMU had a tough time scoring against Air Force, which surprised me because Air Force was kind of on a slide coming into this game, while JMU, yes, they lost the one game to App State, but they really weren't on the slide. Oh, Merry Christmas, Daniel. Yo, what up? Merry Christmas. My bad, late on the comments. Hopefully you had a really good Christmas. Christmas about over, but hey, we're coming into the new year. But yeah, Air Force wins the Armed Forces Bowl, gets a bowl game, ended on a positive note. The next game we have for y'all is the Georgia State, Utah State famous Idaho Potato Bowl, which I did pick Utah State to win this game, and Georgia State did take it. Now, I said before the game that Utah State has to stop Darren Granger, can't allow Darren Granger to get the run game going, and that's exactly what Darren Granger did. Also, Marcus Carroll wasn't in this game, so that was the reason why I leaned towards Utah State over Georgia State. And I felt like Georgia State has kind of been on a slide coming into this game, but Georgia State was able to pull it out in blowout fashion. Georgia State starts with a turnover on downs, 4th and 2, with Sewell phase on 1-yard run, which will lead to Utah State, started off with that, which will lead to a Darren Granger 1-yard touchdown run. Utah State will answer with a Jalen Williams 35-yard touchdown catch. Georgia State will answer with a 1-yard Darren Granger touchdown run set up by Freddie Brock 60-yard run. Utah State will answer with a 65-yard Devon Booth touchdown run. Georgia State will answer with a 27-yard Talik Williams touchdown catch set up by Darren Granger 32-yard run. Utah State would have a 37-yard field goal missed, leads to a Rakim Lacey fumble, which will lead to a Levi Wallace interception, which will lead to a 31-yard field goal. Georgia State will score a 23-yard Kadarius Thompson touchdown catch set up by Darren Granger 20-yard run. Then Georgia State will start the second half with a 3-and-out punt. Utah State will start with a punt. Georgia State will score a 37-yard Kadarius Thompson touchdown catch. Kadarius Thompson had a 27-yard catch to set that up. Utah State will have a turnover on downs, 4 for 5 passes incomplete, which will lead to a 42-yard field goal miss, which will lead to a punt. Georgia State will score a 5-yard Freddie Brock touchdown run, set up by a 43-yard Freddie Brock run. That was done with 9:18 left in the fourth. And then Utah State will answer with a Terrell Vaughn 2-yard touchdown catch. The 2-point conversion would be good, set up by Terrell Vaughn 31-yard catch. Then Utah State will recover an onside kick, but have a turnover on downs, 4th and 7. McKay Helsted 6-yard run, which will lead to the end of the game. Like I said, Georgia State, man, got the run game going via Darren Granger. Was scoring early and often. Utah State had a couple two back-to-back big drives, but other than that, weren't able to put points on the board till late in the game when it was a little too late. And Georgia State dominates. Sean Elliott gets a major bowl win for Georgia State. I believe Darren Granger, this was his last year, so he leaves on a positive note, getting the famous Idaho Potato Bowl for Georgia State. We move on to one of my favorite games, even though it was a low-scoring affair. Still one of my favorite games, the Las Vegas Bowl. The Las Vegas Bowl. Utah 7, Northwestern 14. Now, I was going to pick Northwestern to win this game. I promise you I was. And I ended up picking Utah because Bryson Barnes was playing. And I felt that Bryson Barnes can generate some type of offense. But boy, was I wrong. And Ben Bryant, who I have made a small award for him later in the episode, played a hell of a game for the Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern won 14-7. But I did tell y'all, take that 6.5 points for Northwestern, and they won outright. So, yeah, I got the money line wrong, but I told you I'll take that 6.5 for Northwestern. Now, Northwestern started with a 3-and-out punt. Utah started with a 3-and-out punt. Northwestern, 51-yard field goal is missed. Leads to a 3-and-out punt. Bryson Barnes then throws an interception. Leads to a punt. Then Bryson Barnes throws another interception. Leads to a turnover on downs, 4th and goal. Passes incomplete. Ran a little play-action pass to the tight end, incomplete. Leads to a 3-and-out punt. With 1:20 left in the second quarter, Northwestern scores a 12-yard Cam Johnson touchdown catch, set up by Marshall Lane 25-yard catch. Then Northwestern will miss a 40-yard field goal right before the half. Utah starts the second half with a punt. Northwestern starts with a 3-and-out punt. Jalen Glover would then fumble for Utah, leading to a 3-and-out punt. And with 12:38 left in the fourth quarter, Utah will score a 6-yard Michael Bernard touchdown run, set up by Manir McLean 18-yard catch. And then Northwestern turnover on downs on 4th and 7, passes incomplete, which will lead to a Utah turnover on downs, 4th and 2, running for no gain, which will lead to a 19-yard Bryce Kurtz touchdown catch from Ben Bryant, because at the time Ben Bryant got hurt, I believe, on the 4th down turnover on downs, or maybe the play before, because Ryan Helinski came in and he played a drive and couldn't get anything going. The Utah turnover on downs, 4th and 3, passes incomplete, which will lead to the end of the game. Ben Bryant took a bad hit. I thought he was going to be out for the game. I thought he was going to be thought it was like Tua-esque because of the way his hands were. Thought it was like some nerves damage, but they got him on a bike. They got him back in the game. He threw the game-winning touchdown. He got hurt again, actually, on the drive leading to the end of the game. He got hurt again when he ran for the first down to lead to them taking knees. So praise up to Ben Bryant. You showed heart. You showed everything for Northwestern in your final game in that uniform. Prayers up. They say he is a pro prospect. I think he goes undrafted. Who knows? But, man, just good luck in the next level. And the stuff you displayed Saturday was amazing. So shout out to Ben Bryant. Northwestern gets the dub against Utah. Moving on, we have a game that was not so fun to look at. Matter of fact, I barely looked at it once the score was like 24-3 or something like that. The 68 Ventures Bowl, South Alabama 59 versus Eastern Michigan 10. Now, I have like 6 notes for this. Eastern Michigan scored on 1 field goal in the first half and then 1 touchdown in the second half, 3 turnovers all game. While South Alabama had field goal, touchdown, pick, touchdown, turnover downs, touchdown, fumble. Second half, touchdown, missed field goal. Just straight domination from start to finish. Did whatever they wanted to do. And, just a bad showing by Eastern Michigan. Also, what was a bad showing was the end of the game. I understand, like, prior to that, something in-game might have sparked it, but you got to keep your composure. Everything that happens is in between the lines. At the end of the day, they won. They were rightfully having their fight song being played standing near the student section, enjoying the victory. And guy just comes up and sneaks somebody and just initiated a brawl, which is uncalled for. But nonetheless, great W for South Alabama. We move on to the last bowl game of our recaps, the Hawaii Bowl, which I did pick. San Jose State and Coastal Carolina did get the W 24-14. Shout out Tim Beck, first bowl game victory under Coastal Carolina as the head coach. Coastal Carolina starts with the 4th and 1. Run is stuffed, leads to a punt. Coastal Carolina scores a 2-yard Matt Alimo touchdown catch. Jamison Tucker had a 28-yard catch on that drive. With 5:20 left in the second quarter, San Jose State turnover on downs 4th and 4. Kweli Conley 1-yard catch leads to a punt. The San Jose State starts second half with a 3-0 punt, while Coastal Carolina starts with the punt. San Jose State, Kyrie Robinson fumbles, leads to a Kendall Carr 2-yard touchdown catch. Then Kyrie Robinson will fumble again, leading to a 49-yard field goal. San Jose State will score a 35-yard Sam Olsen touchdown catch, set up by Nick Nash 24-yard catch. And then San Jose State will score a 12-yard Kweli Conley touchdown run. Then Coastal will answer with an 8-yard Sam Pinckney touchdown catch, 8-yard touchdown catch by him, set up by a 17-yard catch by him. Then San Jose State will miss a 32-yard field goal, which will lead to the end of the game for the Hawaii Bowl. Now, Kyrie Robinson with 2 uncharacteristic fumbles. That is not him. He is normally good with the football. He's normally the best player on the San Jose State offense, not named Chavon Cordero, the quarterback. But just uncharacteristic night for him. San Jose State just couldn't get a lot of things going in the first half. Nobody really could get things going in the first half. Now, Coastal was able to move the ball but not sustain much in the first half. Second half, however, took over, scored 17 points. San Jose State turned the ball over twice. And that's just not going to get it done, especially when you're trailing, turning the rock over. It's not going to get it done, especially when your best player is also turning the ball over. It's not going to get it done. So shout out to Coastal Carolina getting the W. But we're going to move on quickly to our bowl game previews. I have 3 for tomorrow. We're just going to do tomorrow. Like I said, Wednesday, I'm off. I will get y'all Wednesday and Thursday before it's kickoff of the first bowl game Wednesday, which I believe is at 2 o'clock. I'm going to double check that. Yep, 2 o'clock. I'm going to have y'all good to go. So the first game I got for y'all, Quick Lane Bowl. Bowling Green versus Minnesota. Now, Bowling Green has 10 opt-outs. The biggest opt-out, just sounded real slow there. The biggest opt-out is Tayron Keith. Tayron Keith will not be playing in this game. Now, another side note, well, not even a side note, this is a huge note. Terrion Stewart, who's dealing with, I believe, a leg injury, is a game-time decision. He may or may not play. He hasn't played in a long time. He's a game-time decision. Harold Fannin will be huge in this game for Bowling Green on the receiving end. Now, they have to find ways to stop Minnesota ground attack, and it doesn't hurt when you have a top 50. I know top 50 might sound crazy, but it's out of 130 schools, so you're within the top 50%. They have the 42nd run defense, to be exact. They have a pretty decent defense there at Bowling Green. Now, I get it. They played against a bunch of MAC schools. It's a Big Ten school. That's why I said they have to find ways to stop the run because of the difference in competition level. Minnesota, 9 opt-outs, including 3 running backs, and Ethan Kaliakmanis opting out, transfer portal, and Darius Taylor seems to be out. He's not an opt-out. He's not a transfer portal guy. He's actually said he'll be back in Minnesota for 2024, so that remains to be seen. But he's trending to not play tomorrow, and due to injury, it's not because he don't want to, it's just due to injury. So that's what I got so far. If he does play, good. But right now, I see that it's highly unlikely he plays tomorrow. Tyler Nubin is also trending that he will not play, but this is a sit out. This isn't injury related. They say he's more inclined to sit out and prepare for the NFL, which he is an NFL caliber safety. I do believe that. Jordan Nubin, looks to shoulder the load at running back, and they have to score points from somewhere. Don't really know who's going to play quarterback for Minnesota. That's kind of a mystery in my opinion. I know they got Daniel Jackson. I believe they have Corey Crooms, the wide receiver transfer from Western Michigan. They're going to have to find ways to generate points, especially against a pretty good defense, a pretty good MAC defense in Bowling Green, or statistically a pretty decent MAC defense. Got to find a way to generate points. But I'm going to roll with Minnesota in this one. And it's honestly strictly because it's a Big Ten school. You're a Big Ten school. You have the bodies up front. You can pound the rock. You should be able to dominate the trenches, like I just said. So they should be able to dominate Bowling Green with just the trenches alone, which will force Bowling Green to have issues with their offense and their defense. I'm gonna roll with Minnesota there. Also, PJ Fleck as a head coach, I know he still has a little cloudy area around him due to like the off the field stuff and Fleck coins and stuff like that, but he's a really good ball coach on the field. Moving on, we have the First Responder Bowl, Texas State versus Rice. Now for Texas State, they have 5 opt-outs. Nothing really huge. TJ Finley will play. They do have to stop Dean Connors on the Rice offensive side of the ball at running back. Have to stop Luke McCaffrey, quarterback converter to running back for Rice. And they had to feed Ishmael Ahmadi, their running back for Texas State. Now for Rice, they have 1 opt-out who's a cornerback. JT Daniels has retired from football. I believe he's not playing tomorrow due to said retirement, health reasons. I think he is going into coaching. So good luck there, JT. Will rely heavily on Dean Connors as Texas State bolsters the 78th run defense in the country. AJ Paday will have to take care of the football, 7 touchdowns to 3 picks, and have to force a TJ Finley turnover. I believe he has 24 touchdowns to 8 picks on the year. So 3-to-1 turnover ratio is really good for Texas State. If Rice has the chance, they do have to force a turnover. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Texas State. Texas State, they bring back the quarterback. I know Rice bring back a lot. Pretty much everybody who can play will play, but JT Daniels is the guy that won't be able to play due to injury. TJ Finley for Texas State will be there. Ismail Mahdi might be their best player on their offense at running back. So I'm going to go with Texas State here to win this game. And the last preview I have for y'all before I get into major performances is the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Kansas versus UNLV. Y'all know I got a little soft spot in my heart for UNLV because Ricky White, former Spartan, is over there. Kansas, 3 opt-outs. Jason Bean is playing, and Bean has to be dynamic for Kansas to be effective. Kobe Bryant or Melo Dawson to force an interception from Jaden Maeva. And they have to run Devin Neal and Daniel Highshaw. For UNLV, they have 6 opt-outs. I didn't see really any major ones there for the UNLV running Rebels. Wow, I am tripping. Here we go. Jaden Maeva. Him and Ricky White should be playing. Again, I think anybody that can play will be playing for UNLV. They have to stay disciplined on the defensive side of the ball. They have to maintain eye discipline, gap discipline, because Kansas will run a lot of window dressing to get you out of position to hit you for big plays. That is how this Lance Leipold offense is set up. They have to feed Vincent Davis, the running back. Cannot forget to run the rock. And they have to stop the run for Kansas, but it's going to be hard bolstering the 87th overall run defense in the country. And they got to contain Jason Bean. They cannot let Jason Bean use his legs. But with that being said, I will be taking Kansas to win this game tomorrow. Also, I forgot to mention where you can catch these games. Tuesday, the Quick Lane Bowl, Bowling Green, Minnesota, is Tuesday, 2 o'clock on ESPN. First Responder Bowl, Texas State and Rice is 5:30 on ESPN. And the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Kansas UNLV, is 9 o'clock on ESPN. Or you can catch all 3 on ESPN Plus if you're on the road or just prefer ESPN Plus. I'm going to go into major performances, and then I'm going to wrap the show up. So, major performances, I have 10 with a Hart Award and just a salute. So, major performances, Caden Volkamp, Western Kentucky quarterback, 40 of 52, 383 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, 19 carries for 53 yards, and a great comeback effort against Old Dominion. So major performance there. Coming off the bench, too. He was the quote-unquote backup, so technically third string to Austin Reed, backup to Turner Helton. So shout out there. Dalvin Smith, 9 catches, 77 yards, 3 touchdowns for Western Kentucky, 3 spectacular ones. Sean Atkins of USF with 6 catches, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Javon Baker for UCF, wide receiver in a losing effort, 9 catches, 173 yards, and a touchdown. Corey Rucker for Arkansas State in a losing effort, 5 catches, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Emmanuel Michelle, running back for Air Force, 35 carries, 203 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day. Darren Granger, quarterback for Georgia State, 19 of 22, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns. 24 carries, 111 yards with 2 touchdowns, having 5 total touchdowns on the day. hence why he's my thumbnail for this week's bowl recap. Jamal Pritchard, wide receiver for South Alabama, 8 catches, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day for Jamal Pritchard. Jaheim Joseph, Northwestern safety, 2 interceptions, 2 huge interceptions for the Northwestern Wildcats. The salute I have is to Garnett Hollis. He had a pretty good game. To me, he jumped off the screen to me at cornerback. And my heart award obviously goes to Ben Bryant, 23 of 34, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. Again, man, showed heart, looked like he was done, got on the bike, got back in the game, and won the game for the Northwestern Wildcats to finish 8-5, I believe, and get in a bowl game. So, yeah, man, that's all I have for y'all today or tonight. I'm about to take my happy self to bed. I do have to go to work tomorrow. I will be back Wednesday. I would say probably noonish, around noon, to give y'all previews and recap Tuesday. But I'm going to give y'all previews for Wednesday and Thursday. Give y'all recaps of Tuesday. With that being said, man, go Ravens. Got to give a shout out to my boys. And I will see y'all Wednesday. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.
Bruh.